Hey, before we begin, please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy this video or any of my previous content. If you have any suggestions as to the topics I could discuss, let me know. I'm always looking for new ideas and more interesting stories to tell. If you'd like to support the channel, head on over to my Patreon where you can support me for as little as $1 a month. And if you like t-shirts and stickers, head on over to cnp-productions.com/store where I add new designs each and every week. We have shirts that come in sizes from extra small to 2XL in black, gray, navy, and red. Stickers come in 3, 4, and 5.5 inch sizes, and personally, I suggest the navy blue, but that's just my taste. Now, without further ado, let's begin. Old Glory, Lady Liberty, Apple Pie, Baseball, and Capitol Hill. These are classic symbols of the United States. Commonly referred to as Americana, or, of course, as Merriam-Webster puts it, quote, materials concerning or characteristic of America, its civilization, or its culture. These items are defining characteristics of what people think of when they see an idealized America. Every year around July 4th, you can see these symbols raised all over the country. Everyone, whether they consider themselves patriotic or not, celebrates the nation's birthday and adopts these icons, even if it's just for a day. Personally, when I think of Americana, I can't leave out one particular icon. An icon that's been around for 135 years. Being the 7th oldest continuously sold soft drink in the entire world, Coca-Cola is as recognizable a piece of Americana as anything I said above. Created by Dr. John Stith Pemberton and named by his bookkeeper and business partner Frank M. Robinson, Coca-Cola, named for its two main ingredients, coca leaves and cola nuts, has been one of the most important products in American history. It has remained almost completely unchanged since its creation all the way back in 1886. Once, even, to remove cocaine from its ingredients list, as it was originally sold as a pharmaceutical drug and medicinal drink that you could actually be prescribed by your doctor to relieve headaches. Imagine that for a moment. How crazy would it be to go to the doctor to complain about a headache, and he tells you to drink soda? Anyway, in 1889, the brand and formula would be bought by American businessman Asa Griggs Candler from Pemberton's heirs. In 1892, while a certain Mr. Homer Plessy and the Committee of Citizens were fighting a certain Judge John Ferguson in Louisiana, Candler would officially found the Coca-Cola Company in Atlanta, Georgia. And by 1895, Coca-Cola was being sold in every single state in the Union. In 1919, the company would be sold by Candler to Ernest Woodruff's Trust Company of Georgia, and as of 1948, Coca-Cola would reach its height holding just around 60% of the market share against its two biggest competitors, that being PepsiCo and Keurig Dr. Pepper. Now what if I told you that in 1985, just around the launch of Fry's Electronics, Coca-Cola wasn't Coca-Cola? What if I told you that for just barely 90 days, the Coca-Cola formula, a formula known only by two people at any given time, a formula so important that the only people who do know it can never travel at the same time as one another for fear of losing the knowledge of the formula through horrific accidents, that formula, one of the oldest and longest held patented secrets in the United States, was entirely abandoned. In 1985, 99 years after the drink's initial creation, the classic Coca-Cola was losing its market share majority to Pepsi. The Coca-Cola Company was terrified of the marketing dirty bomb that would be Pepsi claiming to outsell Coca-Cola and the ramifications that would ensue. With the increase in popularity of dieting and already being 2 decades behind Dr. Pepper and Pepsi with their diet variations, Diet Coke released in 1982 but proved not to increase the total market share of Coca-Cola even if it outperformed other diet variations. This was something that the Coca-Cola company could not and would not allow. So they began to brainstorm. They thought of ad campaigns, product refreshes, even variant products like Coca-Cola Cherry, an idea that had been thrown around since the Kinks referenced it in their 1970 song Lola as Cherry Cola. But no, none of these would be a large enough splash in the pond to send reverberating ripples through the soda world. They're desperate, and desperate times call for desperate measures. They would make a move that would be completely unprecedented and unexpected. They would not just change the formula, they would replace it entirely. Formula after formula began to be drafted. They went through taste test after taste test to try and find anything they could latch on to. What was known as the Pepsi Challenge was a marketing campaign done by PepsiCo that accurately reported that in a blind taste test, more people preferred the taste of Pepsi than that of Coke. These same respondents would refer to the drink as having a, quote, sweeter, more syrupy flavor. The bar was set. The drink needed not only to be better than Coca-Cola already was, but it needed to outperform Pepsi in blind taste tests. After months of variations, countless hours of taste testing, and certifiable results, Coca-Cola finally had a product that could not only beat Coca-Cola itself, but also statistically and continuously outperformed Pepsi. The product was ready, the ads were made, and the stage was set for change. All that was missing was an announcement. What would this product be? What was its name? How did it fit into the Coca-Cola brand? What was the world expecting? On April 23rd, 1985, a day that lives in soft drink infamy, the Coca-Cola Company CEO Roberto Goizueta would break news at a New York City press conference.
The best soft drink, Coca-Cola, is now going to be even better. Simply stated, we have a new formula for Coke, a new taste for Coke, destined to refresh tomorrow's world.
Thank you very much, Roberto. Well, we simply believe that this is the biggest news about Coca-Cola and the best news about Coca-Cola that we've ever announced or ever will announce. Consumers preferred the new taste over the original by a margin of 61 to 39, statistically valid to a factor of over 99%. So, as Roberto indicated, the decision was made by the consumers themselves. Consumers have selected a new taste for Coke as we enter our centennial year. Coca-Cola with that new taste is going to roll all around the world.
The room was dead silent for over a minute, which, to anyone who has stood in complete silence, especially on stage, is an eternity. Then came the questions.
I mean, are you 100% certain that this won't bomb, this new formula?
As I said, I think this is the surest move ever because the consumer made it. We didn't.
And we think there's going to be enormous trial as we roll out this product, and we've got such confidence in the product, we know we've got a winner.
To what extent are you introducing this product to meet the Pepsi challenge?
Oh, gosh, no. I mean, that's Pepsi challenge. When did that happen? That's okay for number 2, always.
Are you saying that the Pepsi-Cola has no more to do with this than Heinz baked beans or Hershey's Kisses?
Well, I don't know. You can handle the English better than I can, so I'm not going to get into that argument with you, but I would say that the consumer had everything to do with this.
Thank you.
Most Coke drinkers look for the crisp and refreshing taste of Coke. I mean, if we want a Pepsi, we'd buy Pepsi.
Well, there, honey, ma'am, I can tell you that what you're going to get when you try this new product is Coca-Cola even better.
It's not even close to Pepsi.
It's not close to anything you've ever had.
Not at all. Not at all.
Except a Coke.
Not at all.
Is the bottom line that you simply added more sweetness to make it competitive with?
We sort of didn't feel too good about how well we did. I thought probably we didn't do it very well. There wasn't much electricity in the air.
For the next few days, all was quiet. Then came the calls.
I was shocked at the anger, the sheer anger in a lot of these phone calls.
Hi, Coca-Cola, this is Shelby.
This is Kelly. How may I help you?
We know what New Coke is. It's Pepsi and drag.
Hi, Coca-Cola, this is Shelby.
We got some funeral wreaths.
Coca-Cola, this is Danny.
I got a letter directed to the head dodo of the Coca-Cola company.
Coca-Cola, this is Shelby.
Coca-Cola, this is Christia.
A lawyer in Idaho who wanted us to, Roberto and me, to sign the bottom of the letter because he said it'll carry the signatures of two of the dumbest bastards in the history of American business.
One moment, please.
When there's a thunderstorm going on, you say, well, let's wait till the thunderstorm dies down a little. But it was a long thunderstorm.
People from all over were growing grassroots organizations to take down the new standard and bring about the return of the king. Coca-Cola would later go on to say that the campaign was more about bringing non-Coke drinkers into the Coke family than about listening to their current consumers. It rocked the world in ways that had been seen by only a few other companies.
But public reaction was immediate and negative.
All of the taste tests said people preferred the taste of this new product to the century-old product. What they hadn't factored in was the huge emotional attachment there was to this brand.
One of the things they say is they were only looking at getting people who didn't currently drink Coca-Cola to come to Coca-Cola with a change of taste. That perhaps they maybe didn't focus on the loyal drinkers and what it was going to mean to them.
On July 11th, a decision had been made once again. Abort New Coke. Millions of dollars in ads, market research, production, and integration were thrown down the drain as the executives went up on stage that day.
The news about the introduction of Coca-Cola Classic ran on the Dow Jones wire at 3:18 p.m. yesterday.
I'm Don Keogh, president of the Coca-Cola Company. When we brought you the new taste of Coke, we knew that millions would prefer it, and millions do. And we knew that it would beat the taste of our major competitor, and it does. What we didn't know was how many thousands of you would phone and write asking us to bring back the classic taste of original Coca-Cola. Well, we read and we listened, and you know the rest.
A drink's delightful the second time. Hi. Do you remember the first time you tried kissing? But now. And when you first tried Coke, I bet you said, not for me. But hey, let's not let first impressions sway, and let's try Coke again, shall we? Because once you've acquired that new wave taste, you're going to want to try it again, and again. A Coke's delightful the second. Catchy, isn't it? Catch the wave. Coke. Rush.
Now comes the hero of our story, a man by the name of Gay Mullins. Gay was an avid Coke drinker in his own right, and upon the announcement of New Coke, he began a grassroots organization known as the Old Cola Drinkers of America, a group dedicated to the preservation of the classic flavors of all sodas, but also a group specifically at odds with New Coke's replacement of the old standard. His group, along with many others across the nation, would send in thousands of calls every single day to the Coca-Cola corporate headquarters and write hundreds of letters directly to the executives of the company. Mr. Gay was invited to the press conference on July 11th and would be given the first can of what was now called Coca-Cola Classic, the old formula, slightly rebranded.
Some critics will say Coca-Cola has made a marketing mistake. And some cynics say that we planned the whole thing. The truth is, we're not that dumb, and we're not that smart.
Mr. Gay had won, and so had America. Gay would be given not just the first taste of Coca-Cola Classic, but the first full crate shipment would be going directly to his house from the company. He would forever be remembered as the man who stared down one of the oldest products in America and made them flinch. He was humble in his success, however, and would not be keeping the case. He wouldn't even open it. In fact, he decided to auction it off and raise money for charity instead, and estimated it could bring in over $20,000. Well, with all of this, what was next for Mr. Gay? Where would he go? What would he do? Well, a retired millionaire electrical engineer, because trades were actually appreciated back then, such as himself, only does one thing. He flies to Costa Rica and creates retirement manuals about where to go and what to see when you have nothing but time on your hands. There would later be conspiracies and controversies about what New Coke really was supposed to be. Was it a marketing ploy never meant to be a real move? Was it designed to rile up their consumer base and drive up sales through hate buying? Was Mr. Gay just running old cola drinkers of America as a money-making scam to be bought out by either Coke or Pepsi? Well, probably not, because there are no confirmed reports of the last one, but his group would later die out alongside its constituents. Even with the backlash, New Coke wouldn't be taken off the shelves. It survived for a few more years, then would be rebranded in 1990 as Coke 2. Regardless, it would never gain the traction it was hoping for. It would stay a relic of mistakes long past, would eventually die out in 2002 and be all but completely forgotten. However, and I wish there were a way for me to get my hands on even just one can of it, but I can't, New Coke would see a limited run re-release in 2019 as a tie-in to Stranger Things at the height of their popularity. Now, today, a time in which companies make extremely stupid marketing moves multiple times per day, and everyone wants to be getting upset about something because there's nothing better to be doing with our time, a story like this wouldn't even show up on the ticker tape at the bottom of the screen when watching midday local news. It would probably make some waves on the internet, but would become another IHOB situation. Short, meaningless, and kind of funny, but ultimately nothing more than a way to get people on Twitter to interact with your branded social media pages. Thank you all so much for watching this week's video. I had a ton of fun putting this one together. It was an amazing rabbit hole to dive down and see where it would lead, and I absolutely love the fact that the marketing crashed and burned so hard that the campaign wouldn't even make it 80 days. In fact, it only made it 79. That's not even one fiscal quarter. It's hysterical to me to look back at old ads and statements made by the execs about the product that just aged like milk on the hottest day of summer in Orlando, Florida. It's because of stuff like this that I look at the products like Coke Energy or the millions of diet or low-cal variations of these sodas and can tell they're either going to exist regardless of performance, or they're going to be forgotten about in a month's time. I'm guessing none of you remember Coca-Cola Life or Coca-Cola Cinnamon, which tastes just like Coca-Cola Energy but with less acid. As for me, this is my hierarchy of sodas. From best to worst, I prefer Cherry Coke, with Dr. Pepper and Coca-Cola tied for second, then Shasta Cola and Sioux City Sarsaparilla tied for third, and then all the rest, except for Pepsi, which I just don't drink. Pepsi is much sweeter than I'm looking for in a soda, and personally just doesn't have the flavor profile I'm looking for. Also, the best way to drink soda is either directly from a glass bottle or the soda machine. Cans are a good second, and plastic bottles are almost always third, except I would say that Dr. Pepper tastes the same regardless of which medium. Thank you for sticking with me to the end here. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a much shorter video than the last couple have been. If you like what you've seen, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. If you know someone else who would like this content, go ahead and share it with them. There's literally nothing better you could do to get the YouTube algorithm's attention than those things. If you'd like to support the 92 Days Project and the channel as a whole, head on over to my Patreon where you can contribute as little as $1 a month towards my goals within this work. If you'd like to pick up a shirt, hat, or sticker, head on over to cnp-productions.com/store to pick up an extremely comfortable t-shirt or beautifully well-printed sticker. Personally, I suggest the navy blue variation, but that's just me. Next week, we're going to be talking about a piece of media that I absolutely adore. And it's a piece of media I think doesn't get the amount of love it deserves. It's a piece of media outshined and standing in the shadows of its titanic predecessors. I'll see you all then. Same bat time, same bat channel.